I think just not having fear, not worrying about what other people think, and just go. I feel like that was something that really helped me for sales and for the mission, is just to 3, 2, 1, go, right?
Yeah.
Just get over the fear of talking to people and trying to, I don't know, chase your goals, chase your dreams. Because you gotta just wait on yourself, right? You're waiting for something to happen, but not until you take that step will anything happen, I feel like.
Cool. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start my timer. Today on the Wilson Seneca podcast, we have a treat. And that treat's name is Brady Nelson. Yum. So, first of all, thank you, Brady, for being on the podcast. This is exciting because most of the people that are on, it's like my first conversation with them, or like acquaintances. Not that I haven't loved those episodes, but we've known each other since 7th grade. Do you remember our first time we like interacted?
It was rest and travel basketball.
Is that it?
It has to be, but we were horrible, so that doesn't count.
Were we horrible?
Yeah.
We were horrible. You were good. I remember there's legends for anyone, if anyone from Reston, Virginia is watching. 7th grade travel basketball Brady was like watching Michael Jordan in his prime.
Dude, I would just do one move and it worked every time. Just move.
I remember playing, I think that was honestly our first interaction together, was I tried out for the South Lakes basketball, or not South Lakes, Reston Seahawks travel basketball. And you also did. Ryan Dooley did as well. Somehow I made that team, which
bucket.
Surprising.
Wilson's a bucket.
And now, because that was when we were how old? 7th grade is like 13, 12. And now we're here 21, 22 playing intramural basketball at college still.
Next semester.
So, anyway, thanks for being on the podcast.
For sure.
And yeah, then we went to high school together. We played basketball together, freshman and JV year.
Both dropped out for varsity.
Yeah, we did not play varsity basketball.
We're not about that.
But yeah, and then I don't know, we just known each other for a long time. So
both left on our missions. You left a little before.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually, because I want to kind of highlight missions in your decision making for serving a mission. I feel like, I don't know, going through high school, I always felt kind of like a pressure, like cultural pressure, not necessarily from my parents, but just from like the church as a whole, to serve a mission, just because it's like a priesthood duty to serve a mission. Everyone talks about it. But going through high school, I was like, I don't want to serve a mission. And like for a while, it was far enough away that it like wasn't an issue. What was kind of that decision-making process for you?
I think luckily my parents were a really good example. My dad had a cool mission. He served in Russia, so I always thought I was gonna go somewhere cool. And then my brother went, and I was just like up until probably junior or senior year, so like right before, right? Like the year before you make the decision and leave and start preparing, is when I started thinking about it. Because every time before that, it was just like, yep, I'm going to go. It'll be good for me. It's good service. So I didn't really even, like, it was just always, I'm going to go. And then senior year, it's like, okay, wait, I actually have to, I could technically go to college and like chill there for 2 years, but I didn't really even think about it still. I just kind of went. And a lot of people would probably not like this, but I don't even think I prayed about it.
Really? Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I just was like, I'm going to do it. It's going to be good for me. Worst case scenario, go out and learn a lot, and, it'll help my testimony. So I don't remember. I'm sure I probably prayed about it, but not like intently and like waiting for an answer and, actually trying to pray about it. I just kind of.
You just acted.
I probably prayed. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. And where did you go again? Just for the listeners. I know, but.
So I went to the Lansing, Michigan mission. That was everything except for Detroit in Michigan. And I was there from October 2020, COVID, to February 2022. And then I left for my original assignment, which was Madrid, Spain mission. For like 5 months I was there, and then I came back.
Yeah. And it's like interesting because most of the people that I feel like we interact with here at school that have served missions also served in at least 2. I've heard people with like 3 or 4 different missions that they've served in. I was lucky enough to not have a reassignment. I was in Puerto Rico the entire time. What was it like when you first got your reassignment? And then what was it like actually serving in like a stateside and then a foreign mission?
Yeah, so obviously at the beginning you're just like, I'll be there for like 2 months. It doesn't even matter, right? Like, oh, Michigan, cool. I've never been there. I got to my mission. How in depth do you want to go?
Just go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So it was crazy. Like during COVID, it's way different from normal missions, and I'm sure you had, just a completely different experience than you expected when you get there. It's all locked down. Can't go out.
Yeah.
The governor of Michigan was like, just weeks at a time. Okay, no one can go out. We're all locked in unless you need to shop for food. You can't go out. And so it was really weird. I read a lot of books on my mission. And that's where, like, I think 60-70% of my testimony comes from.
Really?
Yeah.
The books.
The books. So some missionaries, I mean, you have a lot of free time, right? Because all you can do is Facebook find.
Yeah.
And mentally, physically, you can't do that all day. So.
Right. Which Facebook finding is what? For those that aren't familiar. I'm sure that if there's missionaries out serving now or have served since COVID or before, I'm hoping it's a foreign thing now to people.
I think it's still going to be a thing forever, but
really,
it's just going on Facebook, messaging people, making posts, just trying to do the missionary work online over Facebook. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
It is crazy.
So a lot of missionaries can't do that all day long. I mean, I did it a lot, and then I was like, okay, this is tough. And I still did it pretty good. But some missionaries just kind of give up and they don't do that kind of thing, and they do it a little bit during the day. So I feel like just during COVID, there's a lot of time wasting and people trying to find hobbies and stuff. So my trainer, shout out Ryan, he got me into just reading gospel books, like studying probably, I don't know, 2-3 hours a day, and then the rest of it would be trying to work and then going back to reading and then going out to eat and stuff. So just a lot of studying and a lot of reading, which I didn't think would help that much, but it helped a ton.
Yeah. Do you have like a recommendation of a book or something that you read that was like really foundational in your testimony building?
Yeah, so I started with like basic stuff. Tad R. Callister is really good. So The Infinite Atonement is a classic. And then I started going to like deep doctrine stuff, and just honestly the most important part for me was just actually trying to learn. I feel like a lot of times we read the scripture and we just, oh, that was a cool verse, and then shut it, right?
Yeah.
Or like just, read a little bit, but trying to actually learn the gospel and learn doctrines and try to get a super clear perspective of God's plan. It was like, that helped me more than anything. So I went to Ryan and the books for why I stayed out, why I gained my testimony. And I went through this phase where I just I think everyone could benefit from this in their life, as you break it all down to the basics, right? Do I believe in God? Or like, how did the earth come to be, right? The creation. If there is a God, what is he like? And you just kind of build up from there all the way to, okay, are there prophets today, right? So just doing that really helps solidify your testimony when you do it step at a time from like the base.
Yeah, and I think it's cool you mentioned that, because I remember, emailing, because you started 6 weeks after me, so we were both like pretty young, and then at the same time, and then returned home from our missions within like a month and a half of each other. Mm-hmm. I remember the beginning of your mission, it was not easy for you. Like, it was hard.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that you're now able to look back and see what you needed to get out of that experience and why it was actually beneficial in the long run. So I think that's really cool. So you served 18 months in Michigan, and the way you phrased it in your email, because I would read your emails every week, is it was like a miracle you made it to Spain. Tell me a little bit about that.
There's huge differences in mission culture. I feel like it's honestly any mission, right? But,
yeah.
Just from what I saw, the cultures were completely different, both in the missionaries and the mission presidents and in the people that you interacted with on the daily. I feel like it could be like that with any mission, but like the people were super humble in Spain, and I feel like people were more prideful in the States.
Really?
But maybe just the people I talked to. Yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha. What would you say to like, say someone's listening that's like thinking about serving a mission? Like, what would you say to someone, seeking that advice from you?
Serve? No, I'm just kidding.
Do it.
It's not for everybody, right? I feel like, I don't know. It's something that helps you no matter what. It's obviously something really hard that you're going to go through, and missions are tough, and it'll test you spiritually, physically a little bit, mostly mentally. But if you have to go to God and ask sincerely, I feel like. For most guys, the answer will be yes. So most people will kind of not want to ask the question, right, if they know the answer. But you just will learn so much about yourself and about the world around you. It's for sure the best investment that you can make in your life, because it gives you perspective that you'll use for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think it's good that you bring that up. I think something that's been really good as of recent that the church has been doing is making more of an emphasis on service missions, which provide everyone, in my opinion, an opportunity to serve in some capacity if you have the desire, right? You can stay at home, you can work at the temple, and just a really, varied approach and, a diverse range of opportunities as to what serving is. It doesn't just have to be, flying across the world and proselyting. There's ways that we can serve. And I think it's also important to recognize that that may not be God's plan for every single person. And just to be loving of everyone in their situation, regardless of if they serve, if they didn't serve, if they served a service mission, if they came home early. At the end of the day, I feel like it's our responsibility, especially us having realized, how culturally it can be difficult for a lot of people, to just be more accepting and helping people find their place in the church and feel welcome, regardless of what their situation is. But yeah. Anyway, that's my rant. So we both got back because I started 6 weeks before you, which was cool. We got to email throughout the mission, and I got to see how you were doing and pictures, and I feel like in a way we both kind of shared that experience and time of our lives, even though we were in very different parts of the world. And now we've been back for almost a year and a half, which is crazy.
So old, bro.
The fact that we've been home so long and it's not even the span of a full mission is also crazy. 2 years does not pass quick.
Missions are long.
But, upon returning home and, now being home for so long, what were some of the biggest takeaways or benefits that you have felt, applying what you learned on your mission to your life now?
I feel like this is a really random side effect of the mission, but since it's so hard, when you do something super hard, everything else in life seems a lot easier. So coming home from the mission and just thinking, okay, my life is just school now. You know what I mean? It's just a lot different.
Yeah.
Um, and then another huge thing is just perspective. The perspective that you get on the mission is like probably the biggest benefit, in my opinion, besides serving other people and helping other people's lives, is like that's the biggest effect it had on me. So coming home and having this like eternal perspective on life is something super special. And sometimes we forget it a little bit, right? But it's super easy to be reminded of it, having those experiences under our belt.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you, since returning home, have done difficult things. I'm going to use this as a leeway to go into sales. So I'm not sure if, this is strictly a Utah thing. I just feel like there's a lot of exposure to it in Utah.
Yeah.
Why do you think there is such an emphasis and, so much summer sales going on? I feel like Utah's the hub.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that is?
For sure, from return missionaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that experience. They've done something super hard. They know how to talk to people. They've already knocked doors.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, it was only, I don't know. For me, it was like 3-4 months in Michigan after COVID, because I didn't knock doors in Spain, just like street contact. So for sure, it's just missionaries, right?
Yeah.
That's like the best. I think that's the only reason that it's so centralized in Utah.
No, I agree. I think the skill set that a return missionary has fits perfectly the mold for sales. And also, I feel like the relationship of two people that served in a mission is perfect, where it's a close enough proximity to, invite someone to do sales and them to feel like wanted, but also like if it doesn't work out, like it's not like you're like best friends, if that makes sense. Like it's that perfect relationship to invite people to, do sales with you. Would you agree?
Recruiting, you mean?
Yeah, for recruiting.
Because you just have a huge net for
Yeah.
the mission. So I feel like a lot of people just go to mission buddies.
I've definitely, and I take it as a compliment from people that, are wanting me to come sell with them. I could never do it. I barely survived the door knocking and street contacting on the mission, and I knew that stuff would bless people's lives. Yeah, sure. And there was nothing in it for me. But yeah, anyway. You sold for who?
Vivint.
For Vivint. Okay, shout out Vivint.
Hey.
Was that something, when getting to college, you're like, this is what I want to do? Were you like recruited, or how did that come to be where you decided to do sales?
So that was actually, this sounds crazy, but this was probably a longer process than deciding to serve a mission.
Really?
Yeah. Because missions, either you serve or you don't.
Yeah. Sales
was like, okay, which company am I gonna sell for? You get to choose everything, like where you go, who you go with, right? So coming home, it was my buddy Ethan Glass. Shout out Ethan. He brought me in to meet with Aptive, and from there I realized how high the ceiling is in sales, like how well you can do. So I started meeting with a bunch of different companies. I met with 5 or 6 pest companies. Vivint's the only smart home where I met with 2. And then 5 to 10 solar companies. So Jeez. I met with a lot.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I remember last year you'd invite me to all the fun stuff that they were doing, like come get free tacos or play mini golf or something like that. I didn't realize you did such a in-depth effort to, scout it out.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with any other company. I just felt the best about Vivint for myself, right? I love, and I could see myself selling for a lot of these other companies. Shout out the Grit. The Grit's awesome. A lot of solar companies are cool. So I was just trying to find the place that I would do best year one, and that I felt the most comfortable selling, right? And where I would be and stuff like that. So that was being under some dogs at Vivint. So I just kind of felt the best about that opportunity. So
yeah, that's cool. Because Vivint does house security and solar.
Yeah, correct. So smart home, security, cameras and stuff, and then solar.
Gotcha. And how do you end up meeting these dogs?
So
and what is it about them that was a draw to you?
So
Like, okay, I can work with these guys.
There's a lot that you can learn about in like each industry and stuff. For pest control, it's golden doors and people who sell super high rev. For smart home, it's people who do like 200, 300 plus. For solar, it's people who do over like 100.
These are sales?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So people who just sell in super high volumes, right? So if I was going to do pest, I would want to be under these guys who do really well because you get to learn from them and work out there with them, right? Same with the other two industries. I felt really good about Vivint because I was in two industries and I was under my guy Brant. He did 230 or something, 218, I can't remember, last summer. And then my dog Leif, he is like one of the best solar closers that I've ever interacted with. He did 247 solar deals last summer.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? It's crazy. So he was really good. So I was under both of them doing both. So I just felt like it was perfect for me.
Gotcha. Because you did mainly, is it called setting? Is that what you do?
For solar, you just said, yeah.
There's setting and closing. And typically, from what I understand, I guess first explain, what exactly is setting and closing and what skill sets do you need for both?
So setting, you don't need that many skills, I'll be honest. I didn't even, when I was setting, I just, oh, hey, you guys need solar? Okay. Show them numbers and stuff and then get the guy there. Closing's really tough. Solar's like a $20,000 to $50,000 loan for someone's house, and it's saving them money, so it's almost always an easy decision, but still makes people nervous, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of locking in for 20 years or 25, even though it's transferable and stuff. Excuse me. It does stress people out, so that's a lot harder of a job, coming to appointments and just trying to get that set. But setting, you just have to be nice and just trust me and just meet this guy. He's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then closing is just, I guess the way I understand it, putting it in back to missionary terms, is the setters are the people that do the finding. And the closers are the people that do the teaching. Yep. It's kind of that aspect.
No, that's perfect.
It's kind of just you need to go and talk to everyone and kind of go through that funnel of who's interested, who isn't, and then set up that meeting. And then the closers go in and they make the magic happen.
They got the skills for sure.
And you were selling in California, right?
Yeah.
You started, how many months was it in total?
It was 5 months total. I extended a lot, but yeah, it was May 1st to October 1st.
And what was what do you learn from that? What was the biggest takeaway from doing sales all summer and almost to the winter through the fall?
I've been doing a little bit. I think the biggest thing is, it's kind of fun. You get to learn how businesses work and stuff. Dang. So learning how businesses work is really a huge skill set or a huge benefit, I feel like. You get to learn how the marketing works, how the company works, and you get to actually do that for yourself. So you're marketing their product. You're kind of creating your own business inside of the business. It's kind of cool. I think the biggest benefit for me is a lot of times we kind of wait in life for stuff to happen to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think financially it's a big thing. Okay, I need to wait until I find the right career path and I need to find the perfect thing for me. I need to do it at the right time with the right people, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Sales for me is just go. It's okay,
yeah.
You're on a timer now. And you just go make it happen. And it's really all on you. There's no you can go to the best place with the best company with the best guys, and if you're going to be on your own, right? So it's literally all on you to do well, which is something I really like. And then obviously that builds you a ton of, your character and your work ethic and stuff, because it's literally, if you don't do well, it's your fault. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It's stressful, obviously, but I kind of liked that, so it's cool.
That is cool. What did you do? Because, like, the days are long. Um, when did you wake up and go to bed every day?
I woke up at like 7 or 7:30. I can't remember, probably 7, and then went to the gym, and then came back. Dude, I need some water, bro. I'm sorry. I'm parched.
You're fine.
I, not no frog either.
You feeling better?
I'm feeling better.
Awesome.
So 7 o'clock, went to the gym, and then came back. The really only events that our guys planned was a meeting at like 11 or 12, and then we drive out for the day. So literally from 1 or 2 to dark every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What did you do to, like, remain motivated, just, like, diligent amid all of that?
The thing that really helped me was breaking it down day by day, week by week, and having goals for each, like daily goals, weekly goals, kind of like the mission. And then thinking about long term, why you're doing it, and the goals that you have, like what you want to do with whatever, the money or whatever. And then something for me was like the competition. I'm really competitive.
Yeah.
So just trying to beat certain guys on your team is really fun. So I had a bunch of different motivations, but I feel like the biggest things were just the biggest, things that helped me out, or just focusing on the numbers, how I'm doing for the week, and staying ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
I feel like that was cool.
That is cool. How do, like, the finances work? Like, are you responsible for paying your rent? Like, when do you end up actually getting paid for the sales? Do you have to, like, buy your own food with money that you have saved before sales? Like, how does the finances of all of that work?
So a lot of companies do it different. Some companies will just cover your housing the whole time, but most of them won't do that. Vivint, it's kind of different. They cover your rent if you don't sell. If you sell, they deduct it from your pay.
Oh, if you don't end up, like, making money. Okay, gotcha.
So if you don't make money, they'll cover your rent because they don't want, they want you to stay out there. If you sell, you get deducted. It's $150 a week, so it's like $7 something a month. You pay for your own food, and you get paid everything that's installed, because you only get paid on stuff that's installed, right, for solar or smart home. Same with like pest. You get paid the next Friday on what you did the past week. So if I sold 5 this week, I would get paid next Friday on those.
Gotcha. That's cool. Are you thinking that you'll do sales again this next year?
I'm in it.
You're in it.
Handcuffed. I'm just kidding.
What is the long-term goal of sales? Like, you think you'll just take it for a couple of summers, or like you trying to, like, make a profession out of it?
A lot of people do it just as a summer job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good summer job. You work really hard and make a lot of money, but Vivint is a place where people make careers out of it, like legit.
Yeah.
There's people crazy who've been in it for 20 years, and no other companies have that kind of long-term growth. It's just been there forever.
Yeah.
So I know some people who are just sitting on top of this company, right, in this pyramid, who make crazy money. Like the most I know is like, this is kind of nuts, but like $3 million a summer, just sitting on top of this pyramid. He doesn't even knock doors. Like, it's insane. So it just trickles down, but you could for sure make a career out of it. My plan, obviously, if it happens, sure, but that's not my plan.
Yeah.
I think right now it's just to do it every summer for at least the next 4 years.
Really? 4 years? That's a big commitment.
Yeah. Just while I'm in college, and then till I graduate, and we'll see what happens there.
Well, you don't have 4 more summers until you graduate, do you?
No, I just mean these past 4. So like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 2, 3 more.
Gotcha. That's
Yeah.
cool. Because what are you studying again right now?
Finance.
Finance. And how's that going?
I took this semester off, so I've been paused, but I'll start again in January. I don't know. I haven't started yet, so.
It's like, it's an interesting, and I've talked about this in, previous episodes with other people. I feel like there's just a lot of opportunities out there outside of college. And a lot of times, a lot of people our age, especially here at BYU, get kind of hyper focused at like just in school in it of itself, like getting A's, doing well in school, and just going through that path. And I don't know. I think it's interesting to think about like life without college, what the best way to go about it is. Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on like college as a whole and like especially here at BYU?
I love BYU. Like I could, it's something super important that a lot of people should do. The only time going outside of, that pathway, the only time that makes sense is if you really go 2 feet in and you have a plan, and you're not going to give up on that plan. A lot of people, make careers on their own. They're entrepreneurs and start their own businesses and stuff. And you can't really treat it as a side hustle. I mean, you can, but the way that people get outside of that path is to actually go all in, right? And be willing to take risks and being willing to get hit, right? Shoot, I've put $3,000 into this business and it's done. Well, I got to start again, right? Like, it's just, you have to be all in order to have it do well outside of the traditional path. But that's what I think. I haven't done it, right? But
Yeah, no, for sure. I honestly think about like Joseph Dagby
hey,
and people like him, like
Yeah.
especially like in the creative space. There's just so much opportunity. I feel like for me, what BYU provides is a community. And, through it, I've been able to meet so many cool people, like been exposed to so many cool experiences. And, there's just so many people that, support me and care about my success and just like long lasting friendships. And I feel like that's something that's really invaluable to college and something that BYU provides. And I guess like my perspective on just like the way you should live life is like there has to be things that you're passionate about that you're pursuing outside of college.
for sure.
I don't know. I don't approach classes and college, I feel like, the way most people do here. Like, I am happy getting a B. Anytime I can get a B. It doesn't kill my soul to get a C in some classes. Just because I feel like the overall direction of my life and the way I'm spending my time is more important than killing myself to do well in a physical science GE class that I could care less for and will never apply to my life. Why did you decide to come to BYU instead of other colleges? Did you apply anywhere else? Just BYU? BYU, Idaho? Or just BYU?
I think I did apply to Idaho, but
Gotcha.
I don't even know why. I wasn't going to go either way. But I just really wanted to come to BYU just because everyone is here that I know. Growing up, families out here. It's just a nice melting pot of all the church. So I applied to other places, but I didn't plan on going anywhere else.
Yeah.
I actually didn't get into BYU till like this upcoming winter, so I was just taking classes as a visiting student. The only place I wanted to be was here, so
Yeah. No, for sure. What do you feel like are the biggest differences between where we grew up and like being here in Provo, going to school at BYU?
well, the culture is way different. Obviously there's the church everywhere, so growing up when you're, it's not as common. There's probably how many members in our high school? 20?
Ish. I remember there was 4 of us in seminary that graduated with us. It was like you, me, Caroline, Jessica. Was there anyone else that went to South Lakes that was our age? So yeah, I would guess around like 15 to 20
Yeah.
kids in our high school, and there was over 2,000 kids that we went to high school with.
Yeah. So that's for sure the biggest difference, I think, is just, the church aspect. obviously sales is a big,
Yeah.
that's completely different. What else? The environment, no mountains in Virginia.
Yeah. Which is a
Snows a lot
huge
more.
plus.
Yeah,
I
it's
love the
sick.
mountains out here, dude.
It's way fun. I haven't been taking advantage of it at all, but they're pretty to look at.
No, I agree. I was talking about this. I think it'll be when this comes out. It'll be the last episode. The one that I did it with my cousin, first cousin, second cousin, once removed, something like that. My dad's cousin.
Okay.
And just talking about like, I feel so blessed to have grown up in Virginia, just south of DC. Just because of the exposure that we both had to like different people, different schools of thought, different experiences, different backgrounds, different religions, different races. Like, I feel like it's really helped. At least I'll just speak for myself, like shape me into the person that like I am today, and like be able to be more conscious and understanding of people, regardless of who they are or where they're from or anything of that nature. So yeah,
I agree.
it's cool. I kind of so we're kind of nearing the end of the episode, and what I like to do is give the person being interviewed an opportunity to just share whatever. That can be, along the lines of what we've shared today, mission, sales, BYU, or just something that you kind of wanted to share today, hold important, kind of a blank canvas for you, but I just want to give you that opportunity to end, if anything comes to mind.
That's tough. Let's see. I guess just stuff that's important to me is the only thing that's coming to mind. The church is something that will always be something super important, having that perspective in life. I guess I'm just super grateful for my mission and for sales after the mission that have just taught me I think one thing that they both taught me was just to not be scared, to not have fear. Right?
Yeah.
Of people and talking to people in public and strangers and stuff like that, and really breaking it down and realizing, okay, it doesn't matter, right? Like, especially in sales, like you feel like there's something right that you have to do all the time when you're starting out, and then by the end, you're literally just, it doesn't matter what you do at all. There's so many different ways that you can, I think in general, like so many ways you can live your life. There's no one right way when it comes to like career and stuff like that. There is a right way for, no, I'm just kidding. For, living on the covenant path. But
Yeah.
I think just not having fear, not worrying about what other people think, and just go. I feel like that was something that really helped me for sales and for the mission, is just to 3, 2, 1, go, right?
Yeah.
Just get over the fear of talking to people and trying to, I don't know, chase your goals, chase your dreams. Because you gotta just wait on yourself, right? You're waiting for something to happen, but not until you take that step will anything happen, I feel like.
Yeah. Just one super quick follow-up. I feel like, a lot of people have dreams. They have things that they want to achieve, and, they let that fear of starting and being inadequate and, whatever it is, prevent them from taking that step today. What would be your advice for them, or what have you done to just not overthink it and just, go for it?
I think one thing that's helped me a lot is examples around me, right? I've said this already, but like, look at people who you want to be like in certain aspects of their life. So for some people, it's C-Bum,
What is that?
Chris Bumstead, the physique.
Oh, what? I'm not familiar with that.
So like picking things that you want to be a part of your life and looking at certain people for those is something that I've tried to do. So, for sales, you'll have someone. For the character, look at someone else, and you just try to well, first of all, you want to get as close as you can to them, right? Because if you're friends with them, they'll rub off on you a little bit. But really just follow the examples of people around you, people that you want to become like. Because in the end, you'll just be a mix of all of them, right? Someone that you really want to be like. But yeah, you really have to take a lot of initiative in this life, is what I've found. For everything, right? For dating, for sales, for missionary work, everything, you just have to take initiative. You have to take the first step always. So.
No, I agree. For those listening that want to achieve something in their life, which should hopefully be anyone and everyone listening, all 5 of my viewers, my beloved viewers, I'm going to look in the camera for this one. Start today. Make it happen. Take Brady's advice. I can actually attest to that. I want to be like Jay Shetty. You know who Jay Shetty is? He's a podcaster, and he's sick. Yeah, he's super cool. And I decided that like 2 weeks ago. And since then, I've like tried to kind of emulate him more in like the way my YouTube channel looks and, you know, stuff like that. And obviously, it's like a gradual process. I feel like every episode I'm learning a little bit more of like how to edit it and like how I want things to go and what I want to say and stuff like that. But he is just sick and like is the person that I'm trying to like emulate. And the other thing that came to mind as you were saying that is like there's no greater person to try and emulate than Jesus Christ. Sure. So just like having that as the ultimate person you're trying to be like, but also finding people in the specific, you know, disciplines that you're trying to grow in to try and emulate them as well and learn from them. Thank you so much for your time today, Brady. I appreciate it. I think we had a good discussion about missions, about sales, about mentality. I think you're doing great things with your life. And I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And we'll go ahead and end there.